Hey everyone, today I'm going to be sitting down to set up a new month in my traveler's notebook, and I thought I would take you through that process as I go through it step by step. So I have been in a standard size traveler's notebook for some time. This is my everyday carry. It goes everywhere with me. I will link my 2023 planner stack video for you all. I do use the Cocoa Daisy kits each month as of now. I don't know if that will continue through 2023. But I did get the February papery kit, and I have an unboxing for that, so I'll link that as well. But I have all of my goodies here. I have my January setup ready to take apart, and I'll just show you kind of my process here. So my kit for February from Cocoa Daisy arrived, I think on the 9th, maybe Monday the 9th. It shipped really quick this month. And then I want to be moved into my new setup for the week where the first falls. So that would be this last week here, starting with January 30th, which means I kind of start setting up, taking apart the week before, which would be, in this case, the 23rd of January. So all of my inserts in here are staying the same. I talked about that in my setup video, or stack video for 2023. And that's going to make this process a lot easier for me each month because, like, for example, I'm committed to this monthly for all of 2023. So I'm not reprinting or cutting inserts. I'm literally just updating some decoration and moving everything over to my new planner. So what I do is I get the main planner kit, which has 3 papers, and I pick the 3 that I like best because my traveler's notebook has 4 inserts in it. So I know I'll use all 3 of these. And I think I'm gonna go with these 3. And what I'll do is I'll break those up kind of by color. So for this month, I would do a white, a blue, and a white. I don't want like all the bright colors together or all the whites together. Kind of like to mix those up. So these 3 papers will be used for my back 3 inserts, and then I pull any specialty paper I have, which is like acetate or vellum, and for this month I have these 3, and that's what I would use in the first dashboard here, like I did for January with this star vellum. So I'm going to set these specialty papers to the side, and I will set this to the side for now. And we will focus on these papers and how I want to decorate them. So what I do is I also then take all of my dashboards and 4x6 cards or pocket-sized cards and have those available and see which ones are my favorite and which ones I want to use on top of the papers for some layering. So I knew for sure I wanted to pair this personal dashboard with this because it's like the typewriter theme. So that will be my first dashboard. And then my second one, go through here and see extras. So we'll use this little bird typewriter with the bird paper. So that will be dashboard 2. And then let's look for this final paper. I really love the big bold print on this one. I am going to lose some of it trimming it down, but for this month I'm just going to leave this one, I think, as is. You might add some of these sticky notes to the top so it makes like a functional dashboard. We'll put that off to the side and we'll see. Okay, so let's get started with assembling these papers. So now that I know that those are the dashboards that I have that I'm going to use, then I kind of pick my planner for the month. So I had 3 options pulled from my stash. A black one, which obviously works well with the kit with all the typewriter ink splatters. A pink one, which would be like a traditional February color. But I also have this navy blue, which reminds me a lot of the black, but just a little bit more of a subtle color. So my plan for now is that I'm going to use this navy cover from the Chic Sparrow. And of course, if mid-month I'm not feeling it anymore and I want to mix it up and move into one of these 2, it's very simple just to move everything over to another notebook. So we're going to start with setting up this navy notebook. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a moment, move this to the side, go through my current setup and take out everything so this is empty and ready to put on the shelf. Now that that's empty, check my pockets. I'll put this back on the shelf for another month's use, maybe in the future, and we'll start putting all of the goodies in the new notebook. We will go with the same ink pen that I've been using, which is the Uniball Signo DX. Get that in the pin loop. In the back here, I have some checks and upcoming performance tickets. And then this is a printable from Creffective paper. It's their bucket list, which I need to sit down and fill out, but I did laminate it and want to kind of go through for the month of 2023. And then in the back, I also put some of the notepad paper. And we'll just tuck that in the top of that pocket. And then this does have cascade pockets. I've been using a lot of functional post-it notes from Cloth and Paper, and I want to use a couple of those. I have an idea for meal planning this month, so I'm going to take that out. Put this black one back in. I've been using a white ink pen on these, and it's just kind of a fun way to write out quotes and such. And then we'll put those to the side. I wanted to use these Post-its that came in the Cocoa Daisy kit. So I think this one I'm going to try somewhere else on a dashboard. This is an acrylic or plastic piece. It does come with a protector on it so it doesn't get scratched up. So that was just on there really good this month. But it does come off, and then this is like nice crystal clear material. And then these Post-its are made to fit on top of that. Put that down in this bottom pocket. And then that's sort of the base elements for my notebook. And now we can do the inserts and dashboards. So I'll put this off to the side. And the thing that I do that makes this kind of super easy is that I take out the paper of each dashboard and then use that as my measuring guide when I'm cutting the new paper. So let me take all of those out and make a stack. And now we will start with my last insert, which would be this paper as a guide. and pull my last dashboard here. And I literally just line this up on the paper. And then make a little mark where I need to trim. And then use my paper trimmer to trim that paper down. Now I have this paper that goes with this vinyl dashboard, and these little plastic dashboards come from the Chic Sparrow. You can order them in basically any traveler's notebook size. I'm going to put that in there as a placeholder, and we're going to repeat that process for the next 2 books. Okay, so I use the full kit papers for those 3. Get 3 papers, 3 dashboards, and then this is my front or very first insert in my planner, and this is where I use the specialty paper. I like it to be front and center in my notebook when I open it up. So for this month, I need to choose from one of these, and I was kind of leaning towards the ink splatter. But I could trim this one down and it fits pretty well. I think we're gonna go with this, and then you can always mix it up as the month progresses. So this is an acetate, and I do trim it with my paper trimmer here the same way that I trim the papers. That will wrap up trimming the papers for the dashboards, and now let's assemble. Starting with the back dashboard, I have my, oops, I did this backwards. Starting with the back dashboard, flip my stack over here. This is the one where I said I just wanted to not really decorate a whole lot, but maybe put some Post-it notes on. So I'll slip my back paper in here, and then we'll slip the front paper in. We have that, and then this is where you can get creative and add different things, washi, Post-its, die cuts, all that sort of thing. And I think what I want to do is pull a piece of darker paper to mat some of these sticky notes up here. And then these are the embroidery patches that came in one of the kits, and I want to put it down here. Now I don't want this, you could just peel the adhesive off and stick it down, but then the adhesive kind of gets on these plastic dashboards, which are really nice, and I don't want to ruin them. So what I'm going to do is just take a little piece of washi. Any washi will do, of course, and we'll fold that over on itself and put that down on the embroidery patch. And then that washi will hold this in place for the month pretty well, and I won't be ruining my plastic dashboard, and at the end of the month I can just peel that up. So that's a fun way to use the embroidery patches. Now I have just little scraps of paper in a little bin from other projects that I've done, and I'm just gonna go over to my paper trimmer and trim this down so that it barely shows around that post. I'm going to do the same sort of situation. I don't want to ruin my plastic dashboard, so I'm going to use some washi to put down this piece of navy blue cardstock. And we'll center. Guys, when I'm on camera, this stuff never goes smoothly, I swear. Okay, now we're gonna center this up here in this white spot. And then we're gonna pull off just a few of these Post-it notes and put that on top. And then the nice thing is, if I need to make a quick note, I can just pop one of these off and it's on the outside of my dashboard. So we have our first insert dashboard done. Let's go on to the next one. So for this one, we're gonna keep it pretty simple. I wanted the birds showing, and then I wanted this card on top. And I think what I'll do for this one is use, let's do the washi that has the pins on it. And I'm just gonna tear a piece off and adhere that to the top and the bottom, and that's how I'll keep this card from moving around. And then of course we can just put that right into the insert. It's kind of funny, these, if you saw those, these are Pokemon cards. My son collects them and he picked 3 for us. His name is Gus, so he picked this one that says Fungus for himself. This one represents me, a slowpoke, and then we love chickens, so he picked this rufflet one for that, and they stay in my planner pretty much all the time. Okay, so that's the second dashboard from the back. Just working our way towards the front here. And then we have this next one, which is just the paper with a personal size dashboard on it. And I don't think I want any washi to show on the outside of this one. So I'm gonna use some washi just folded over on the back here. And since it is inside of that plastic sleeve, that's really all you need. You don't need any permanent sort of adhesive. They stay pretty well in place for the month. And we'll just align that kind of in the center. And then of course, put that into our sleeves. Make sure I get that the right direction. So we have that one. Then we get to work on the last one, which uses the specialty paper. Let me get my Planner Kate stickers out of here. And then this was the acetate. And the question I always have is, do I want to put something behind it? And I think the answer is no. I'm going to leave it like that. You can just put like a piece of white paper behind it to make it stand out a little bit more, but I don't think I'm going to. And then for the back, I usually just use this piece of plain white linen cardstock. I did print on it, and I'm gonna have that on the inside, so the back is just this plain white. All right, so that is all of the dashboards assembled, and now we're ready to add them to the notebook. So this setup is pretty easy. I will show you, just in case you're new to Traveler's Notebooks. So inside this first plastic sleeve, I have 2 inserts. And you can do that by what's called adding a jump band. I'll add my Amazon link for these. They're really good elastics, but you put that on your book in the middle, and then you add that other insert that you want to use to the jump band, and then you put that inside of your plastic sleeve, and then we open it up to those 2 books, and that can go on 1 elastic. So you have 2 books on 1 elastic strand, saving you a little bit of room for other inserts in your planner or your notebook. This one is just 1 insert. It's my weekly insert. So I'll just find the middle of that and put that down. This is my Daisy Dory. So just 1 insert on this one, I think. Nope, I lied, there's 2. Forgot I added my migraine tracker from Creffective paper. So this is jump banded, just like that first thing I showed you. And we'll put that on the 3rd elastic. And then my 4th insert is just 1 lined notebook from Traveler's Company, and that will go on my 4th and final elastic. All right, so that gets all of them in the notebook, and then what I do is kind of push and shimmy. I really like my inserts to be lined up square with the spine. This is a brand new notebook, so it will take just a couple of days for the leather to kind of break in and wrap around the inserts properly. But we'll do that. And then the last thing that I do are my tabs. So I need to go through and take off the tabs for January. You can see I just washi them on. And then we'll decide how many tabs we want to add to the notebook. I do have all of the tabs from the main planner kit pulled out. Let me look again because I swear we got 6. 3, 4, 5. Yep, I missed one. This month we got these cute little plastic sleeves, and I have all my die cuts in there. So there's 6, and then I adhere these just like before with my other embellishments that I don't want to ruin my paper or my plastic. Just put them on with washi, and I do this last. I feel like it's easier for me to get the look that I want with the alignment rather than adding the tabs before I put all of the inserts back in the notebook. I hope that makes sense. So we'll just go through here with the sticker kit from the main planner kit, and these stickers work perfectly on these tabs. So I definitely want to have this month at a glance, and we'll put it on this kind of matching teal colored tab. So that's my first insert, is my monthly. Next up is my weekly. So let's see if we have anything on here. I think I'm gonna label this one Notes, and we'll use this floral label. I kind of wish they had one that just said weekly plans, daily plans, but that's okay. We'll know what they mean, at least in my mind. So that's my second insert, and then my third insert are my trackers and my daily plans. So we'll use trackers for that, and I think we're just going to use this kind of newspaper print looking tab. And then my last one, I'm not going to use a tab on, it's just my notes section, just lined notes. Okay, so let's go ahead and add these. I do add them to like the first page of the insert right here. And again, I'm just doing the folded over washi trick. For this first one, I like to line it up at the top of the insert. Okay, Okay, so that one's down. And then we'll do notes next for the second insert. And for this one, this is where I just kind of eyeball it. Get my ollie clip off of there. My first one is right there. I kind of want my second one to be a little bit up underneath it, not all the way aligned down on its own, which again is just personal preference. Okay, so we got the second tab down, and we'll add our third tab. And I do the same thing for this tab. I just kind of eyeball where that one is. I like them to overlap a little bit. Make sure I put that down the right way. And put that down on the first page of the insert and wrap it over. All right, tabs are on. And then the last thing I like to do is laminate a piece of paper or acetate or vellum to put in this front pocket. I feel like it just adds that finishing touch. So I'm gonna go over to my paper trimmer and trim this down to the correct size, and I'll be back. All right, so I did trim that down with the paper trimmer you saw earlier, ran it through my laminator. This is just cheap 5mm laminator from Walmart, and I use the Scotch brand laminator. I think it was $15 or $20, and it's held up nicely for several years. So I can put that inside my front pocket. It's not sliding very easy. All right, so we have that showing. And then my last thing is that I just go through my embellishments and decide if I want to use any of those. We did get this big bow paper clip, so I will adhere that to my last dashboard in the back. I'm not going to use this rubber clipper topper. And then I have these two little dangle charms. I'm going to use this typewriter one just here. My problem is I don't like when paper clips bend my paper or leave a little indentation. I know that's crazy, but that's the way I am. And I don't want to bend the dashboard. We'll see how it does on this plastic dashboard, and we'll just have it hanging over the side there. All right. That is how I set up my traveler's notebook for the month from beginning to end. I hope I explained everything well for you. If I didn't, if something's confusing or you have questions, just drop those below and I will get back to you. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you back on my next video.